Hi, my name is Betsy. This is an introduction to gentle Kripalu Yoga. Today we're going to focus on back and digestion through our poses and movements. And this class is a 30-minute yoga class. So again, welcome. Please make sure that you listen to your body. Continued pain, or if you feel any pain in your body, it's a signal to your body that something is wrong. Your body is your best guide. It constantly lets you know in the form of pain or other stimulations, other sensations, what is working for you and what is not. So my advice, biggest advice today, is listen to your body. And if I'm asking you to do something your body doesn't want to do, then do not do it. If you're in a pose and you start to feel pain, I want you to ease up out of that pose very gently. So I wanted to go over something, warm-ups. Why do we warm up in yoga before we go into the asanas? I get that question asked often. The reason why we warm up is that we want to provide the spine with movement. So we do, in our warm-up poses, 6 movements of the spine. Warm-ups allow your joints to be lubricated. We also stretch ligaments, tendons, and fascia during warm-up, and we warm up your muscles as well. And last, we stimulate and strengthen your nervous system through the warm-up muscles and prepare them to go into the asanas, into the postures. So we're going to, today, going to focus on the back and digestion, and we're going to stand. And if anybody ever has trouble getting up off of the floor, I'm going to show you a real quick way to get up. So placing your one foot forward, tucking your back toes, and then leaning forward, bending that back leg, and stepping up to the front of your mat. So coming to the front of your mat, hips, your feet hip distance apart, equal weight of your body on the balls of your feet and the heels, knees slightly bent, neutral hips, shoulders back and down, reaching out through the crown of your head. Nice mountain pose. Now I'm going to come into this pose sideways so you can see me. Notice how my ankles, my hips, my shoulders, and my top of my head are in line right here. We're using over 300 muscles in mountain pose. So I want you to very gently come to the middle of your mat. So let's say this is the front of your mat, and I want you to come sideways, standing in the middle of your mat and extending your legs about 3 feet apart. Taking your left leg and pointing your toes forward, keeping your back leg at a 90-degree angle with the side facing the short end of your mat. And then very gently bend your knee. You want to keep this knee over your ankle to protect your knee. Bring your torso up straight. You want your shoulders facing square to the wall in front of you. Your hips are going to be slightly off because of the different shapes, movements of the feet. So inhale. Arms up. And very gently come back this way. We're doing a slight little twist in the body. Notice the ankle. Just to use this as a bit of a warm-up for the legs and to notice where your knees are. And also, check your arms. They should be shoulder height. You don't want them too low or too high. Bring them to shoulder height. And very gently bring both feet to the center of your mat, and then step back to the very front of your mat. Back into mountain pose. I want you to very gently inhale, following your chin up with your hands up above, and then exhale. One more time. Inhale up and exhale, relax your shoulders. Placing your hands together, interlacing your fingers, stretching out long with your arms. Your elbows should be just on the side of your ears, and then exhale, relaxing those shoulders. Inhale long, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Very gently come over to your right side, doing 1 of 6 movements of the spine. So we are doing a side bend to your right. Inhale up, and then exhale to the left. Inhale up, and exhale. Inhale up, and exhale over. One last time. Inhale up, and exhale to your right. Inhale up, exhale to your left. Inhale up, exhale, bring your arms to your side. Inhale, bend the knees and bring your arms out in front. Bringing your left arm back, placing it on your lower back, and twisting with your right arm to the side of your left knee, keeping your knees over your ankles, looking over your shoulder, stretching a side bend. So we've done right and left side bends. Now we're doing a twist, warming up the legs, warming up the hips, and twisting the spine. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, your right arm to your back and your left arm over, looking over your shoulder, keeping the knees above your ankles and apart. Don't let one knee turn in or that way. Keep them directly over. Easy breaths here. Inhale, coming forward, and exhale. Now I'm going to start at the front of this mat, but in the middle of it, towards the end, I'm going to move to this way, but you stay directly in front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive, bending from the hips, right where your legs and your hips attach. Arms out to the side and gently bringing them down. Hands on the ground. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, reverse swan, all the way up. And exhale, back to mountain. Now I'm going to move to this side. Into mountain, you stay at the front of your mat. In mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, hinging from the hips, keeping your back straight and placing your hands on the ground. Bringing your belly into your thighs, bringing your chin and your forehead into your lower knees. And then inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan, straight back up. And extend to the back. Nice back bend here. And exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. Inhale, reverse swan. And arms down. Nice lymphatic movement with this. We are moving your lymphatic fluid and warming up tendons and muscles. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, back down. Placing your hands in front of you, flat on the ground. Step your left leg back. Step your right leg back. Come into downward facing dog. Nice straight line from your wrist all the way up to your tailbone. Reaching your tailbone up towards the ground. Inhale, right leg up. And very gently look between your hands and place your foot forward. If your foot doesn't go up as high as you want, put your right hand behind your right thigh. Move it up yourself. Help guide it up. So ankle directly below your knee. I'm going to come to this side so you can see. Now, if this is uncomfortable, leave a little more space between your front and your back foot. Very gently placing a hand on your thigh and then the other. I want you to lift up and come into side warrior. Arms at shoulder height. Check your back hand and your front hand. In Kripalu, we hold the poses a little bit longer. This is a flow, but it is a very slow flow. Squeezing those glutes. This is great for digestion here. There's a slight twist in the spine. Easy breaths here. Squeezing the thighs together, squeezing those glutes, using your core. Inhale, bring your front arm down and swoop your back arm up and over to an extended side angle. Should be a straight line from your wrist all the way down to your ankles. And if it doesn't look that way, that's okay. We are moving, holding this pose. And then inhale, bringing your left arm back behind you and allowing your right arm up and over. This is excellent for the lower back and for your digestion. Every movement, every twist of our torso, we're slowly massaging your internal organs, including your digestive tract. Easy breath here. Inhale, coming back down, bringing your hands into a lunge. And then very gently step forward and come to front of your mat, coming up and standing at the front of your mat in mountain pose. Going to this side, stay at the front of your mat. I want you to inhale and exhale. Placing your hands down, I want you to step your left leg back. Very gently placing your left hand on your thigh and your right hand, bring yourself up, squeezing that glute, dropping your back leg. or dropping your foot to a 90-degree angle, extending your arms out. Inhale, coming into an extended side angle. You want to keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your lower shoulder engaged. You really don't want to allow your body to fall into your thigh. You want to keep everything active. One more breath. And then inhale into reverse warrior. Inhale, coming forward into a low lunge. Placing your hands on the ground. I want you to come into plank. Now, if you need to bring your knees down, perfect. This is still a plank. Bringing your knees down, keeping a straight line from your knees to your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders. If you want to go into full plank, go into full plank. We're going to hold this for about a minute. Easy breaths here. Inhale, coming into downward facing dog. Easy breaths. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Inhale, coming back into plank, whether your knees are down or not. Squeezing the glutes, using your lower back and your core. And very gently placing your knees down on the ground wide to the edge of your mat. Let's go into child's pose. In child's pose, if you need to use a blanket, if it's uncomfortable, you can take a blanket and fold it over, or even a block. Place it right on your ankles and come into child's pose this way. If it's hard for you to get directly down to the ground, place a block and rest your head, your forehead on the shoulder or on the block. Nice stretch in the lower back, extending the shoulders. Easy breaths. This can be a resting pose, but we're still using muscles. Stretching out the lower back. It's a forward fold, so child's pose is really very good for your digestion. As we lean forward in this pose, we are massaging our digestive organs. On your next inhale, come up. I want you to grab 2 blocks, place them about 2/3, almost halfway into your mat. Coming into tabletop, tucking your back toes. I'll go this way to show you. Tucking your back toes. Coming up on one foot
and the other. Now in this particular pose, you want to look at having the heels on your mat, placing 2 blocks directly behind you. So toes should be over the mat on the floor. Your heels should be in the mat. So let's try standing like this, and then very gently coming down into a squat. And if you need to, sit on 2 blocks behind you. If you don't need those 2 blocks, then don't use them. Sorry, losing my mic. So we're going to hold this pose for just a moment. If you don't need the blocks, then don't use them. Pressing your elbows gently into the side of your knees. Coming into a squat, straight, strong back. We're going to hold this for 2 minutes. So if you need those blocks to sit on, then use them. Now stay where you are. I'm going to get up and I'm going to come to the other side so you can have a view from this side. Nice straight back. The feet are flat on the ground. If you're having trouble getting those feet flat on the ground, you can easily tuck a blanket underneath your heels. So take a blanket, fold it over like this, placing your heels on the edge of the blanket. You want to be able to allow your feet to completely relax. You don't want to be on your front of your foot. You want all the weight to be equal in the feet. This is one of the best digestive yoga asanas you can do. 1 more minute. Notice your breath if it's starting to get difficult. If it's painful, come out. Now to release this pose, you can use your arms and gently come back, or come forward and pull yourself up. That was graceful. Okay, sitting on a blanket. I want you to bring your right leg into your thigh and extend your left leg forward. I'm going to come on an angle. We're going to do a bit of a side stretch here. I want you to move your shoulders where you're square to your extended foot, and then very gently coming down, reaching your arm up, coming onto your side, looking out over and extending your arm overhead. Nice side stretch, stretching out the hamstrings. Now you're not pulling on this leg, you're using it as a guide. Easy breaths here. If you're having trouble getting a breath in this pose, I want you to ease up out of the pose. Inhale and release your right hand and come up. Now we're going to go to the other side. Now, if you have any knee pain, you can put a blanket up underneath your leg so that it's slightly bent, bringing your knee into your left heel into your right thigh. I want you to face your foot, square with your extended foot, and then very gently come down, extending your arm and twisting out to the side. Your shoulders should be facing the wall in front of you, and extending. Easy breaths if you need to. Again, reminding you just to move out if you have trouble breathing. Listen to your body. To release this pose, place your right hand on the ground behind your thigh and very gently support yourself as you come back up. Now we're going into Savasana. If you have a bolster, you can set up in supported butterfly for support. And those of you who don't have a bolster, I will show you in 2 seconds what to do. But bring your back right down to the edge of the long part of your bolster and slowly, using your hands, supporting your bolster on a block, raising up your head just slightly, and allow your body to relax. If your chin is facing up towards the ceiling, grab a blanket, place it under your neck for support. You want your chin to be at an angle, not into your chest, but not up to the ceiling, sort of in between. Elbows and hands flat on the ground. And bring your bottom of your feet together. Bring them as close to your hips as you're comfortable. The closer to the hips that you get, the more of a stretch you're going to get in your hips. If it's too intense, just move your feet a little further away. Now, if you don't have a bolster, you can actually use the floor. So without a bolster, keep a blanket handy. You don't need your block. Placing your blanket at the end of your mat, coming down on your mat, palms straight to the side of your hips, and then feet together. Now, if you need to, use a block to help support your knees if you need that support. In Savasana, you want to be able to allow your body just to totally relax. Relaxing those knees, relaxing the legs, just let everything melt into the ground. Notice your breath. If you get what they call monkey brain, where thoughts keep coming through, just acknowledge those thoughts and let them go. Focus back on your breath. Very gently start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, extending your legs out, extending your arms over your head, twisting your ankles and your wrists, reversing, and very gently bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug. And then slowly move over to your side into fetal position. Just take a breath here. Using your arms to support you, extending your leg if it's what you need, pressing yourself up into seated position. You can sit on a blanket if that's what you need, in a comfortable seated position. Legs crossed, arms to the side, nice, tall, extended spine, shoulders back and down, kissing those shoulder blades, reaching out through the crown of your head as if there's a string pulling your head up towards the ceiling. Inhale, arms up, palms together, and exhale to heart center. Do that one more time, and as we come down, we will do one Om. Inhale, arms up, and Om. May your thoughts be positive, may your words be kind, and may your heart be filled with love. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today.